Hey, what's up, guys? I haven't posted in a while, but today I wanted to start a generals.io tutorial series since there's not too many resources online, or some of them are a bit older. Yeah, so originally I wanted to focus on the FFA game mode and basically organize everything I know about the strategy since the FFA mode is what I've been playing the longest. Um, and recently, Eclipse has been developing some much needed features for friends and a party queue system for the BigTeam mode, and also other quality of life improvements and stuff. So I think we're definitely expanding what this game has to offer for current and future players. So I figured it would be a good idea to have this tutorial ready, or at least in progress before the next wave of players joins. And also, I was introducing my friend the other day to this game, so should be good timing, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna start with just a basic intro in this video for getting started with the game, and then later on I'll talk about like the rules, mechanics, and then do a deep dive into different strategy topics. I'll probably do like separate videos for each topics just so it's more digestible. I was thinking maybe just like one topic plus related ideas, I guess, for each video. And then if there's something I missed, or if you guys who've played a lot have more suggestions, then I'll like edit it as I go, or I'll make like a follow-up advanced version video for that corresponding topic. All right, so let's start. And basically what you want to do is go to generals.io, it's in the name, and you could play this on laptop or on mobile slash iPad, I guess. Um, I'd recommend playing it on computer, but people do play on mobile, and it's kind of doable, but the controls are a little tricky as of today. So yeah, you could just ignore the announcements for now. And the first thing you want to do, oh geez, I'm not used to these Zoom settings. First thing you want to do is just pick a name. So there's actually a reason we no longer allow anonymous users to play as of I think like 2 years ago. So yeah, you'll just have to pick a name here. And then yeah, unfortunately we don't have a lot of special characters. I think there's a few that are allowed, but I think that's kind of okay. Let's see if that. Oh no, that doesn't go. Okay. All right. Let's go. Okay, so I've picked a name. I think there is a length limit of, I don't know, like 18 or 19. You can't have like a super long name. But yeah, you may run into some legacy accounts. So before there's username restrictions, people could just type whatever, have special characters and stuff. And we still allow those accounts, but any new registered accounts have to follow stricter rules. So yeah, anyways, the next critical thing you want to do is actually get your user ID. So if you're on Chrome at least, you can just inspect. And then, okay, so you see here, it says do not share your user ID with anyone, which I am sharing this with everyone right now. So I would not be surprised if someone starts spamming on this. But anyways, this is your user ID. And you're going to use this to log in. So we don't really have the most secure system, I guess, because you only need the user ID to log in. It's not like a username plus password. So what you can do is instead of joining at generals.io, you can add /? user underscore ID equals, and then whatever the user ID is, and then that'll sign you into the account. So if you want to switch devices or like clear your cookies or whatever, let's actually see if I could do that right now. Then you should be able to sign back into the account. See, if you look here, because I cleared the cookies, we're signed into a new user ID. So this is just like randomly generated, but I can sign back into the old one. And then it'll get my name. Yeah, so this is important. you definitely want to write this down somewhere. There is a way to recover it in the settings. You can just add an email here, and then if you do recover account, it'll email you a link, and then inside of the link, or like at the end of the link, it'll have your user ID. Yeah, so that, if you can't open console or whatever, or if you're on mobile, you need to retrieve it, you can do it that way. Yeah, and then if you have multiple accounts, then yeah, you just want to write down all of the different user IDs you have. Okay. And then another thing you can do is actually customize your user ID when you're making an account. If you want to do that, you could just make it like something random, some long string, I guess. If maybe you want to make it more secure, or whatever. I think if you put a # in the user ID, that might not be allowed. But anyways, we'll just do that. And then yeah, okay. So then the next thing I wanted to talk about is, I guess, like the Discord and the QQ, which I'm not sure exactly how to get that to show up. I think if you change the language settings on your browser or whatever, that should show up. But anyways, yeah, if you want to join the Discord, it's sort of active, I guess. But yeah, you could chat with players and discuss strategy or whatever. Okay, and then let's see. So I guess I'll discuss the game modes now. So we have a couple. I guess the main one is probably 1v1, I guess. So that one's pretty simple. It's just one player versus another player. You could definitely brush up on fundamentals and really focus, because there's less players to keep track of. Then there's 2v2. So if you have a buddy, you can play against 2 other people. Okay, and then there's FFA, which is up to 8 people, and there's no teams or anything, so it's just free for all, right? That one's pretty fun. I definitely play that the most. And then there's BigTeam. So this one kind of varies. Usually, it used to just only be active on the weekends, but I think it should be now active all the time. I guess the reasoning for shutting down the BigTeam queue or the FA queue is just because the player base is not super large. So in order to get people to play a certain game mode, we kind of just want to gather everyone in a single queue rather than split them. But if the player base grows, then it'll be hopefully these 2 queues will be more active at the same time. So you can see the FA one is disabled because it's the weekend, but I mean that could change in the future. But yeah, anyways, BigTeam is kind of like an umbrella category. So there's I think a single game as of today can support up to 16 players. So you could have, let's say, 4 teams of 4, or 8 teams of 2, or 2 teams of 8, or whatever. Or you don't have to use all the players. You could have 12 players, 3 teams of 4, 4 teams of 3, whatever. You could think of all the combos. And then I also forgot to talk about customs. But basically, the way you do a custom game is you can just you could just take any string and just replace it in the URL here. So I could just type some random nonsense, okay, and then that'll be the game, and then we can join on a different account. Whoops. Okay, so yeah, it supports up to 16, and you can even have spectators, so people will just be able to watch the games and chat, but they're not going to play. And then there's, let's see, so there's a couple of options. Okay, it's a lot of stuff to play around with. Let's see. Okay, I think, do you actually need supporter to do this? Oh wait, no, never mind. Yeah, so you could just play around with some of these. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention supporter, but yeah, for supporters, there's a few features. I think I forgot exactly what is involved with that. Let's see, become a supporter. Okay, so no ads. You get a little tag. You can change your name. Oh yeah, because for a normal account, you're kind of stuck with the same name forever. And then some map stuff, and then you get to pick your color in game or whatever. Yeah, so check that out if you're interested in that. But it doesn't actually impact the gameplay. There's no advantage to being supporter, at least in game. But anyways, let's just like mess around with some of these. You can make the map like really big. You got like some fairness modifiers. We could add more, whatever. And there's like some special tiles and stuff. For example, well, okay, I don't know if I want to show all of these, but we could do something like, okay, watchtower might be interesting. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. And then if you guys want to start the game, then you just force start from everyone has to force start. And then let's see. Oh, I think the AFK thing might still be in place. Like if you don't move for like 25 turns, it'll like start to kick you or something. Actually, I'm not sure if that works in custom rooms, but I guess we'll figure it out. So you can see the vision is kind of modified because it says one modifier is enabled watchtower, so that affects like the vision of like cities in your general. You instead like get this diamond around it rather than only the immediate squares. And then I believe there should be I think I forgot about the other tile, but whatever. There's like tons of custom tiles if you want to like play around with that. Some of them give you vision, some of them give you like there's the swamp where it'll like eat away at your army if you're standing there too long. There's also like there's like a tourist game mode. Actually, hold on, let me see if I can pull that up. Let's see, play again. Let's do, okay, what do we want to do? Okay, because that one's like pretty trippy, but let's see. Oh, that's only support. Okay, well, I believe I have a video or a couple of videos where there's the tours thing the tourist modifier enabled. That allows you to like walk from one edge of the map, like the right side, and like teleport to the left side. Same with the top and bottom. I'm trying to find the tiles. Okay, here it is. So I think lookout is, honestly, I forgot what that one is. And then observatory lets you see in a straight line. So let me see if I could demonstrate that. Yeah, it's probably better to just like play around with this. I'm not like explaining it that well, but you can see I think this like telescope thing, if you go to the other side of it, it'll allow you to see in a straight line in one direction. And then these like tower thingies, I'm still not entirely sure how it works, but like, yeah, you get like a little bit of vision nearby. So yeah, there's like some cool stuff if you want to do that. There is also, oh right, there's also custom maps. Let's see, create. Yeah, so you can like play around with all the tiles and stuff. And okay, I actually am not super familiar with that. Or you could browse like some other stuff. Okay, let's just see what is this. Okay, so this guy has a lot of whoops, I think the 9s are like some neutral army, so if you run into it you lose all your army. There's like cities and swamps, whatever, so you can play around with that if that's interesting to you. And you could test out like different modifiers and stuff with friends. Okay, I think it would now be helpful to see how the actual game looks like. So what we're gonna do is just take a look at replays from some top players. So I just opened up the leaderboards here. You can see all the different game modes. So 1v1, these 4 are all FFA, just measuring different metrics. Big team, 2v2, 2v2 teams, so treating each pair of players as a team. And then this is personal for whoever you have partnered with. So we're gonna just start with 1v1. We'll just click the number 1 ranked player. There should be some good replays in here. And I guess this is a good opportunity to explain like the profile / replay side. So there's a lot of ways you could reach someone's profile. You know, you could click on the leaderboard, or in like a replay, let me just do another example. So if you just go to some, I don't know, some random replay, you can like click on the names, and you'll be able to enter their profile, and you could see all of the games that they have. And you could filter by different like categories. So, oh, okay, I don't know. He probably only has 1v1s, I guess. There is a profile extension that can help you like filter and navigate. I'll probably talk about all the different like quality of life extensions in a separate video, but this should be fine for now. Yeah, so we're gonna just enter this replay, and I'll try to try to explain the mechanics of the game. So this is not what it looks like in game, but it'll be easier to explain this. I'll probably just load up one game so you guys can see how it actually works. But here's how it works. So each player starts with a general or a king or a I'm not sure if there's other names people use, but there's probably something. But yeah, you start with the general, we'll say. And the game operates on a like half-second frequency. So every second you can make 2 moves. All right, but you don't have to move. You can, just do nothing. Although you probably don't want to do that too many times. So what I'm doing right now on my keyboard as a viewer is I'm pressing on the right key to like move through the replay, because the actual game, I think, okay, if you just autoplay, you could see how the game operates in real time. So it looks like they're moving twice a second, right? It's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, so on, right? But it's a little easier to explain if I can control the game. So yeah, so you could see they started off with just 1 army, right? But the thing about the general is it'll increase by 1 troop every 2 steps or 2 moves or 2 ticks. People use those words interchangeably. I guess the turn is like the more natural term, I guess. But the way that this counter works is it'll add like a dot for every like second beat, and then it'll increase by 1. It'll increase the number by 1 every second. But you don't really think about that. You think about how often you can move. So I just like to think of it as steps. So you could see every 2 steps or every 1 turn, the general increases by 1 troop. Okay, so they're not moving yet. And then on turn 10, okay, so on turn 10, purple is moving up, I guess. So the way that the motions work, you could basically select any single square that you own. You start the game only owning 1 square, but as the game progresses, you can select any square and move to the 4 adjacent squares. So what you would do in game is you just click on the general, and then you can move to any of the 4 directions. Although, if you notice, there's these little icons. These are mountains, so you cannot move through them. It's just a wall. It's like similar to the edge of the map. You can't move from like this edge to the right, or like the corner to up or right, at least in the standard game mode. There are custom modifiers, which I'll save that for another topic. But for the standard ladder games, yeah, you cannot move through the mountains or the edges of the map. So you could see all of the white squares you can move through. And yeah, so you're guaranteed to be like connected, or like you're guaranteed to have a path to the other person's general. That's just how the spawns work. Oh, shoot, I guess the spawn mechanics, that could be another video topic. But anyways, you could see it's totally legal to just walk through all of the white squares. And if you're paying attention to the armies, you could see right now purple has 10 on a square, but each time he moves, it looks like, each time he moves, it looks like he's decreasing by 1. But he's not losing any army. It's just that when you're leaving a square, the game mechanics say you have to leave 1 troop behind. So, by default, that means your I guess standing army, or however you want to call it, it's gonna like decrease by 1 each time you move. but you can see his army's not changing. You can actually take a look at, you can take a look at this leaderboard here. It'll tell you, okay, so the POV is just, if you want to see like different perspectives, but that's whatever. Stars is like the ranking or elo, or it's not exactly elo, but I could save that discussion for another video. And then this is the player name, and I guess the color is in the background, army and land. So you can see the army is increasing by 1 every 2 moves, every 2 steps or 2 ticks, right? So 1 move, another move, 1, 2, 1, 2. You can see it's increasing by 1, and that's because of the general. But yeah, the total army is the same for both players because they're not like really attacking or anything. Okay, so I think, yeah, this is not too interesting yet. Okay, so then the interesting thing is right here. So if you look at the turn counter, it's turn 24, and then it's about to be turn 24 and a half, and then it's going to be turn 25 right now. And if you noticed, every single square, it looks like he has a lot of 2s, right? But what happens is every single square you own will increase by 1 troop. So yeah, they went from 1s to 2s. And then the general is a little tricky to tell. It looks like it increased by 2. Well, I mean, it did increase by 2, but it increased by 1 because the general always increases by 1 every other tick. But then it also increased because the general operates like any of your other squares. It'll increase by 1 on a not only turn 25, but any multiple of 25. So just to demonstrate another example, okay, I'll explain the attacking mechanics soon, but you could see turn 50, like right now, right as I'm about to click this right arrow, everyone's squares increase by 1, right? You can see that. Okay, so yeah, so you could see, you know, it's pretty important to have a lot of land, because that's how you kind of build a lead against the opponent, right? Because in the beginning, you're tied, you have the same army. But I think one of them, oh, okay. So right here, they have, okay, right before, or right upon turn 25, they have 25 land. So they both have the same land. And by the way, 25 is the most land you can get, at least in this standard game mode for the first round. So it's really good if you can get that, because, you know, if you only had 24 land, then your total army, you know, you can imagine if you're adding 24 to your army and you're adding 25 to the other guy's army, you're going to be down 1. And we're going to see that pretty soon, right about here. Okay, so right here, okay, so it actually, this might be too much into the weeds, but it increments your land after calculating the attack. So you could see, yeah, you could see that's why if you normally move from this 10 to the square on the left, it'll go to 9, but it actually increased by 1 after purple moved, so that's why it's still 10. But anyways, you could see, okay, yeah, so red has 1 more land than purple, and you could see they were previously tied in army, but now he's up by 1. So that's more like the strategy. I just want to stick to mechanics for this first video. But let's see. Okay, I think now is probably a good time to talk about the attacking mechanics, or defending, I guess. So you can see purple is going to attack red here. So here's how it works. You could see as he's walking through the neutral land, so through the white squares, it decreases by 1 every time. But then when he's attacking red, it decreases by 2, right? So the reasoning there is, previously, when you're walking through neutral land, you can imagine there's like 0 army on the square. But because now there's 1 army on the square that he has to fight, because it's someone else's army, not his own, then you should be losing 1 more army. So the way it works is if you have 42, and then they have 1, if you do 42 minus 1, that's 41 troops, but then you have to leave 1 troop behind. So this square, when purple moves onto it, it's going to be 40, right? And then, you know, I guess you could kind of take a look at the other examples. Let's see. Okay, so maybe here. we could see red is now going to attack purple a little bit. So he has 5, red has 5, and then he's going to move right to attack purple, which has 3. And if you do 5 minus 3, that's 2. But you have to leave one troop behind. So he's going to have one troop on this square where the 5 is. And then where the purple 3 is, that's going to become a red square with just one troop. Yeah, so that's like kind of a lot of math, I guess. But when you're actually playing, the way you think about it is just if you have 2 more troops than theirs, you're able to take their square. Whereas, if it's any less than that, you're not going to be able to take the square. Okay. And then, so that's the attacking mechanics. And then the collection mechanics, I mean, you could kind of see, that one's not like too complicated, or it's not too different, but you can see he has 17, right? As he's moving onto his squares, he's increasing by 1 every time. So it's kind of like, because he's walking on a path of 2s, but you're leaving a path of 1s behind you, then the effective like standing army, I guess, it's gonna increase by 1 each time, right? Yeah, something like that. And then you can see he's collecting the 3s here. It should increase by 2 every time he moves. So you have, 11 becomes 13, 13 becomes 15, 15 becomes 17, right? Okay, and then, all right. I think that's it for the attacking defending mechanics. So the next really important thing is cities. So you could see these gray squares with a little, I guess it kind of looks like a church or whatever. People call it cities, churches, towers, citadels, tons of names, I guess. But those, you see there's a number on it. So it's kind of like when you're attacking the other player. You need to have enough troops to take the city. So let's see. Okay, so like for example right here, in order to take this 44, red is going to need 46 troops on an adjacent square. So, okay, so now he has 50, which is more than enough. So if you do 50 minus 44, that's 6 minus 1, so there should be 5 on this square. Anyways, the cities function just like the general. It'll increase by 1 every 2 steps. Yeah, so it's basically exactly the same as the general. Well, other than the key objective, which I think I forgot to say that, but the objective of the game is to capture the other person's general, and then they win if they capture yours, right? So let's just, for the purposes of this explanation, okay, we'll skip to the end. And by the way, to skip, if you like hold the shift key, you can skip like 5 turns. That was a new addition. That's pretty cool. Or you could use the different speed replay like modifiers, I guess. So you could see, okay, so he has 376 and purple only has 15, so that's gonna kill, and that ends the game. You could see the 3 billboards just won. And then, yeah, it looks like purple was trying to attack red or something like that. But okay, it's not like I was really paying attention to the middle part of the game. But yeah, that's how the game ends. So I think that's it for the mechanics. There's one key detail that I left behind because it's easier to explain when you could see the whole board. But if you remember like the POV thing, you don't get to see the whole board, at least not in the standard gameplay. So this is what it looks like. I'll just do it from this guy's perspective. So this is what it looks like in game when you start the game. You can only see your own squares plus any adjacent squares, and then this time adjacent is including the diagonals. So for any square, you see the 8 neighboring squares. So you have no idea where the other person's general is. I mean, you actually kind of have an idea based on the spawn rules, but for now, you don't know where red is. And then as you move through the game, okay, so you could see, obviously you could see every square you own, but you could see this white square because it's next to the 3. You can see this mountain because it is next to diagonally though, but it is next to the square he owns. And yeah, vision is important for strategy reasons, but I'll just stick to explaining the mechanics for now. But yeah, so I think that's it for the mechanics of the game. I will now explain the other game modes. You can see how it's different, or maybe even take a guess which one's gonna appeal to you more. We'll take a look at an FFA. So in an FFA, there is 8 players, usually, up to 8. There could be less or fewer, I guess, like 7, 6, or I guess all the way to, I guess if there's only 2 people, that's a 1v1. But anyways, you can see there's 8 people on the board, and we'll just do it from this guy's perspective. You know, same rules. You can only see the squares you have and the adjacent vision. And okay, so now he just captured blue right here, but you can see the game's still going, right? So the game only ends once everyone dies except for one person. So just so we could see the rest of the board, I'll turn off the point of view thing. So you can see, all right, so people surrendered. Oh, by the way, if you want to surrender, you could just hit the escape key. Oh, shoot. You could just hit the escape key in game, and then it'll surrender. Okay, so you could see, oh yeah, that's another mechanic that is not really relevant to 1v1, but it is relevant to FFA. But you can see green is surrendering, and then after like 25 turns, they're gonna turn gray. So all their troops will be gray. So if you attack, you know, you'll just lose an extra 3 army. You could take the cities and stuff, like the general converts into a city. But you could see, all right, let's just fast forward till the end here. Okay, so the second place guy surrendered, but if he were to be captured by red, that would also end the game. Okay, so FFA, it's got tons of different strategies because, you know, obviously there's more people. It's not just a 1v1. So I think, yeah, so I'll save the strategy discussion for later, but the mechanics is basically the same. There's not really any, yeah, like all the controls are the same. Oh, there is actually an important game mechanic. So this is when you capture someone. So we could take a look here. So this is not relevant to 1v1 because when you capture someone, the game's over. But you could see in an FFA, when you capture a player, you kind of inherit all of their land. So you could see pink owned all of this land. Now when red captures him, red now owns all the land. So it's like super powerful. I mean, obviously if you capture someone, you know, we could probably expect that would be like really impactful to the game. And yeah, you know, you get their land, you get their vision, you get tons of army. If you're paying attention, you could see the army is not quite right? You could see there is, for example, a 6 on this square. After he captures him, now it's 3. Like, what's going on there? Basically, it's too powerful to take all their armies. So the way it works is you just get half of their army, rounding up, I believe. So if they have like 1 troop, it'll still be 1. If they have 2 troops, it'll round down to 1. Or it'll just like divide by 2. I guess that's not really rounding. And then, yeah, you could see, let's do another example, like 29. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Wait, no, that was the other guys. We'll say like this 221. So it'll go to like 110 or something. Yeah, about. Okay, so that is very important to know in an FFA. Okay, so I think that's it for the basic rules. You know, you could try out this mode. It's super chaotic. Like if you're good in a 1v1 and a player is, I don't know, like 20-ish stars below you, you could probably win like 90% of the time. I don't know, I'm just kind of making up those numbers. But in an FFA, you know, even, you know, really good players, you know, it's quite hard to break it past the like 40/50% win rate. I mean, if you just do the math, if there's 8 people, 100 over 8, that's like 12.5%. So if everyone is equal skill, it should be 12.5%. So, you can imagine you got to be pretty good to push it past, like, even past 20% win rate. It's pretty hard. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. And then another thing that's a little, maybe people don't really like about FFA is there's not any like skill-based matchmaking. So you're literally just queuing up with the 8 most recent people, or whoever's like currently trying to queue up. Whereas in 1v1, you are going to get matched with someone near you. There's like an algorithm for that, but it'll try to pair you with someone similar. And then, okay, I think that should be it. So yeah, so these leaderboards might be a little confusing at first, but I guess I could explain those in another video. That's for FFA. For 1v1, it's like simple enough. It's I think it's like true skill or whatever, which is like similar to ELO, but I guess like don't really worry about that too much until you start like grinding and stuff. Yeah, you can see people with like special characters or non-ASCII characters, I guess. Those are older accounts. So I believe there should be, oh shoot, I don't have the extension on, but yeah, this account should be registered a while ago. Okay, I guess I'll explain 2v2 and then BigTeam after, just so we can, take a look. Oh, shoot, sorry. We gotta, oh, okay, so we could filter. Yeah, great. Okay, so here's 2v2, which I guess is, you could argue it's a form of BigTeam, but the mechanics for this one are slightly different, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun because you could play with your friends. If you want to join voice call or chat, you can coordinate your texts better. Oh, that's another thing. So you can see there's like messages that are showing up in the replay. You can actually type them in game, and then the replay like will record the things you're saying. So yeah, anyways, so same mechanics. Both people have a general, and then every 25 turns, your land will increment by 1. And then, okay, so here's the key difference in team mode versus, I guess, non-team mode, which is 1v1 in FFA. So you could see what happens when you go onto your teammate's land. So red and maroon are on the same team. So you could see if they were on opposing teams, it would be 30 minus 19. So here would have like 11 troops if you were to attack, but they're on the same team, so it's going to be different. So, as you could assume, it's just going to add up the troops. So 30 plus 19 is 49, minus the 1 for the square you were moving off of, and that's 48. So you can see you're adding up. It's just like collecting your own land. It's just like collecting your own land. Okay, and then and then we could see that mechanic again. So red is going to attack, or red is going to kill blue, and then you could see the troops are going to divide by 2. It's a little hard to tell, but the way the mechanics works is the attack will go first from blue, and then it will divide by 2. So the attack will go 40 minus 7 is 33, plus 1 is 34, and it'll divide by 2. So that's why it should be 17, I believe. Oh, shoot. Wait, am I actually wrong? 33, 32. Oh, yeah, sorry. I think I went the wrong way. Yeah. So it should be 40 minus 7 is 33, minus 1 because he leaves the troop behind, and then it'll divide by 2. So the light blue attack will go first, and then the orange one. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the move mechanics, but just if you're confused about the number, that's why it's that. And then, yeah, so then the game ends when all the the game ends when there's only one team standing. That's probably the best way to think about it. So like in 1v1, the game ends when one player is standing. FFA ends when one player is standing. 2v2 and BigTeam ends when only one team has players alive. So yeah, you don't need all your players alive, you just need at least one alive. Okay, so that's not too much for the mechanics. I guess we could take a look at BigTeam. I don't think there's too much to explain. Oh, yeah, so this is a custom tile, a swamp, which you probably don't, just don't worry about it for now. It's not really that impactful. But yeah, you could see the big team, all right, so it is like teams of 3, and there just happen to be 2 teams. So you can see how that plays out. I don't think there's too much to say in terms of mechanics. You're either collecting your teammates' army, or you're attacking the enemies, or you're going into neutral land. So that doesn't really change. We can take a look at something a little more chaotic. So this is also teams of 3, but there's 4 teams. So it's a lot to keep track of, for sure. Like even FFA, it's a lot of people to keep track of, and Big Team is just even crazier. But that's why I really like FFA and Big Team. You don't really have to play perfectly, unlike in 1v1 or 2v2, I guess. You just need to play good enough and keep track of enough of the important things to prioritize. But there's obviously a lot of luck in spawns and, just where the players decide to go and stuff. So it's it could be frustrating, but I think it's pretty fun. But just play the different modes and then see which one you prefer. Okay, and then so you can see it's like pretty chaotic. It's kind of like an FFA because there's multiple different teams, not just 2 or like multiple entities. So it's not completely obvious who you should be attacking. So that's more of the strategy stuff. But you can see, okay, so it looks like blue has the most army, but they're down a player. So maybe pink wins. I would say probably red is not good. The red team's not going to win, but they're still in it. So we could see what happens. Let's see. Oh, okay. So looks like the pink and purple team was able to take blue, and then they're probably gonna be able to take red just because they have a big advantage. But yeah, so that's kind of what a big team game looks like. I guess what maybe I don't need to demonstrate all of the games. I'll demonstrate a 1v1 and a big team game just because that's what's online right now, and then. I don't know, I guess if you really want to see FFA game, you can just take a look at the other videos I have previously on my channel, but they're not like tutorials or anything. Oh yeah, there's like a little rules thing that pops up. I think the first time you play an FFA, basically just like don't like cheat, don't like try to team with the same person every time. Oh shoot. Okay, I think that's a bug. But yeah, we're just gonna get into a game, and I'll probably like maybe fast forward through this game if it's like kind of boring or whatever, to this big team game. And yeah, so we'll just wait until there's 4 teams of 3. That's just how the settings are for now. But it changes from time to time. And let's see what else I can explain. Okay, so this queue chat was added like recently, like past few weeks, I guess. Yeah, and this one is pretty cool because you could just chat with people while you're waiting rather than just like staring at the blank screen. There's also on the homepage, there's like a main chat, so you could type whatever, and then that will kind of persist for a few minutes. I forgot the exact time, but you'll see like recent messages. I guess no one else wants to say anything. Okay, and then there's also the Friends tab, which is really huge for Big Team and just for community in general. So the Friends thing, you could see when your friends are online. Well, I have 0. But you can see when your friends are online. And you could also use it to make parties to queue up in Big Team. Or I guess like custom rooms for fun. What I'll do is if I create another account, something, I don't know, then I can add myself. Or okay, I mean, well, this should probably be a different person, but if you add a friend, it'll look something like this. Just gotta boost the player engagement here. Okay, so we'll go with that, and then let's see. Yeah, so then I just sent a friend request by typing the name and a check mark. And then on the receiving side, you can, I guess you could accept or decline. And then you can see now it says in main menu, which is this one. And then I think it'll also say if they're like currently in a game or something. And let's see what else you could do. So you could actually make a party, which I'm not sure if I could do that if I'm already in a queue. Let me see if I can work with that. So okay, so I believe this icon, the little male one, that should invite to party. Okay, so it'll say like someone invited you to join their party, and what you can do with this is now you can like join together, which I mean seems reasonable, right? But actually, until very recently, it would be really hard to join at the same time, or like join into the same team. Like you'd have to join with someone and then make sure that your colors are aligned. I think you could probably see some examples of that in my previous BigTeam videos, but that's made a lot easier now with this party change. Anyways, with your party chat, you can chat just with the other person. Private chat. Okay, and then the other person can see it, and this is gonna persist between games. So once you like start another game, as long as the other person's like still in the same room, you get to see all the messages and stuff. Okay, so I guess we're just waiting because there's only 10 people online. I guess I'll pause it until there's enough people. Okay, sorry, it was just taking forever to fill. So what I'm actually gonna do is just add a third account that I literally just made. I think I've collected the 3 guys. Okay, so okay, you can see it says BigTeam here. Previously it said 2v2 if you just want to play with one other person, but because it's 3, I guess it figured out that we want to play BigTeam. Okay, finally this thing started. Yeah, I'm probably gonna lose because you're supposed to play with 2 other people rather than just controlling it all yourself. But anyways, you can see this is what the game looks like when you're actually playing it. You can only see the squares you own and then the adjacent ones. I guess for BigTeam it's a little different because you can also see your teammates' squares. So that's an important difference. Shoot. It's kind of hard to talk about this. Okay, yeah, this is like impossible to play. But anyways, okay. If you also noticed, if you don't move for too long, or for like 25 turns or something, then the game will assume that you're AFK, and then it'll like forcibly surrender, cause you to surrender. So that's what happened to the purple account or whatever. Okay, and then the other one was captured. But basically, the change is like if someone is like inactive or whatever, then you at least don't want to be dead weight, and you want to at least be able to contribute, or you want the teammates at least to be able to take control of your army. So you could see another mechanic that I guess it was a little hard to tell right now, but if you surrender, or if a teammate surrenders, then all of the land will just transfer to the teammate, and it's not going to divide by 2 like when you capture someone. But yeah, we're probably going to lose this game because it's like pretty hard to play 3 at once. I think I could probably play 2 at once in duos, but yeah, 3 is like a little too much. But anyways, okay, so if you see the death icon, that actually means that you've killed at least one other player, and that does matter for like the ranking calculation, but we could talk about that later. But yeah, anyways, that's what the game looks like. Sorry, that one was probably a little hard to follow because it was BigTeam. I think what I'll do is probably just do a 1v1. I think that's a little easier to tell. Okay, and then yeah, well, I'll show after the 1v1 game, I'll probably show the TV feature, and then also the tournaments. That one's kind of important. Well, I guess I could probably do it right now. Okay, so The TV feature was added pretty recently, and it allows you not to spectate, but to watch recently finished games from high star players. It'll like kind of prioritize those. I don't know exactly how it works, but and then the number inside of the TV should be the number of stars of the player that was playing recently. So, if you want to check like this one, 78. Okay. Okay, so we got Hemlix. Nice. And it'll just kind of autoplay as if like I'm looking at a screen, basically. But the game is already finished. So there's no cheating involved here. Alternatively, you can when you open someone's replay, it'll open up this ID. So this is the replay ID referring to a game, and then these are some optional like arguments, I guess, if you want to see it from a particular player's perspective. And then I think this is like autoplay, so this will like autoplay it. So I'm not like clicking anything on my keyboard; it's just autoplaying. And then yeah, you kind of just sit back and watch, and then when the game ends, it'll load up another game, probably some other high star player, and yeah, you could kind of study from that, I guess. I find it a little more efficient to just like scroll through it on my own, but this is cool if you like, I don't know, if you just wanted to autoplay without having to do anything. You can actually I learned you can actually click the left and right buttons as you're watching, and it'll like fast forward, like it like kind of speed it up. I can move backwards, but then if I let go of the keyboard, it'll just resume playing as normal. So that's a feature, I guess. All right, also just wanted to show the tournaments slash events slash arenas page. So this will show you all of the past ones, as well as any upcoming ones. It's mainly 1v1, FFA. There's the occasional 2v2 in here. We haven't done a big team event yet. That might take some coordination, but that's going to be fun when we get around to that. So if I just click on like 1v1, you get to see the bracket, show completed rounds. Okay, so we see like, yeah, like the full bracket. It's usually like double elimination or something. I don't like really play these that much. There's FFA. I've done a couple of videos on these. There's a different scoring system for each game, but those are really fun. This FFA is nice because it's only 90 minutes and then it's over. You just play as many games as you can. 1v1, I'm actually not sure. I think this probably takes like a couple hours to finish, but yeah, those are pretty fun. It's definitely a different environment, at least for FFA, because all the players are more skilled, so you gotta like think about different strats. Oh hey, that's me. Oh, okay, I think the game actually started, and oh my god, it's actually against the same guy that was in the replay, so this will be interesting, I guess. But yeah, you could see, oh shit, oh my god, I did not mean to click that. Okay, that's another thing I forgot to talk about. Let me say forgot to disable click. Anyways, okay, so I should probably talk about that control just real quickly. But yeah, I'll just play this out. I'm 100% gonna lose because of that. I forgot about the default controls, which is pretty funny. Yeah, so yeah, usually you just, right before a multiple of 50, you want to just take as much land as you can. Let me just say rematch. Okay, this is a rematch feature. If you want to play against the same person. Okay, so let me not try to like mess this one up. Okay, so yeah, you can type in the chat. I think if you just click enter and your mouse is anywhere on the screen, then it'll like go to the box, I think. If not, you can like physically tap the thing. Okay, well I actually kind of have to think about this because I'm used to the non-standard controls, but we'll go with that. I think he knows I'm not there, but Okay, I'm already down 2 because I was not paying attention in the beginning part. But this is not, yeah, this is not like crazy bad or anything. Oh yeah, that's another mechanic I forgot to explain, which is the splitting part. So you use the WASD keys to move, right? If you click Z, then you can actually split the army. It'll just like, when you move off of the square. Oh shit, I think I fucking lost. Whoops. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, if you press Z, it's gonna send half of the army to the next square that you want to move to. And that's useful for like some defensive maneuvers and stuff. Okay, let me actually try to start a little better. I think I might have messed it up. But yeah, if you want to learn the 1v1 leads, like how to begin the game, I believe there is a couple of videos on that. Or maybe, I know there's definitely one that explains like all of the leads and stuff. Oh yeah, so right there, I pressed Z, so, you know, it splits the army. Oh shoot, okay. So I need to recapture this ideally. Okay, so he split. Yeah, I think I left a little late. Okay, oh, this is cool. We're actually up by 1 army. Not a lot, but it might do a little bit of work. Okay, so I'll just kind of move around here, take a little bit of the land. Okay, it doesn't look like he's gaining land, so he's probably gonna try to attack soon. Oh, I probably should have used that. Oh, okay, so it looks like he got a city. So I think I don't think that city is like the best location, but whatever. We're just trying to demonstrate how the game works. But yeah, you could see now every 2 steps. Okay, I lost. Every 2 steps, he increases by 3 troops instead of 1, which was previously just the general. Because he has like the general and 2 other cities, because he just took mine. But let's see, and then you can see mine is increasing by 1 every turn, I guess, because I only have the general, at least until I recaptured that. And then what else do I need to explain? Okay, yeah, so I mean, I probably lost, so I'll just go like all in and then surrender here. Let's see. Okay. Let me see if I could fix the shoot. Let me see if I could fix the controls. Okay, yeah, so this one's kind of usually I turn that off. So I don't know if he's still here. But so click to move is like when you click the adjacent square, it'll move, but that's kind of annoying because you may also want to start a move from the adjacent square rather than move from the current square to the adjacent square. So yeah, usually I have that disabled, but that's just how the default is, I guess. And then the other one is double click to split. So I was saying, you know, you could use the Z key to split, or if you like click the same square again, it'll split. But I also find that one kind of annoying. Okay. Yeah, I also find that one kind of annoying because you may need to click the you may need to click the same square again, and you don't want it to like do a split because that might actually like mess things up. Okay, so this one looks like a real game. So I'm considering getting a city, but might be a little risky because he's probably gonna attack soon. So what I'll just do is I'll do an attack now. Okay, I think it's a little late, so we'll go for a city, and I think he was doing the same. Okay, so now what I need to think about is which cities I'm gonna get, because, you know, obviously he could attack and I could attack, but if you're unable to kill the other guy, then having a city is more advantageous because you don't need to like spend as many troops like gathering it and stuff. But obviously because of the cost of the city, you know, that could set you back if you're not careful. Because, okay, I think he just got another city. Yeah, so I need to match that with this. And yeah, it seems like he's probably in this corner over here. Okay, probably need to defend this. Yeah, so okay, if he manages to find that city, that's gonna be pretty bad. But it looks like he went the other way. So let's see if I can find. Okay, yeah. So I think that was really quick, but he moved out of the mountain, so it looks like a mountain to me because you know, it's not going to tell you if it's a mountain or a city, but both of them appear as mountains until you've seen them. Oh shoot, is he going to capture that or no? Okay, so his general should be around here. Okay, so so I know he has a city there and a city right there, but it's a little far away, and I think I've lost because he has like one more city than me. But yeah, so basically his general should be around here-ish. We'll just see if I can get a little closer. Okay, so it's probably right there. So we're just gonna do a couple more attacks and then probably gonna lose. Because if you look here, my army's increasing by 4 because I have 3 cities plus a general, and his should be 5, I think. So the cities are like pretty advantageous as you get later in the game. And then, okay, whoops. Okay, so I guess it's on that top square. I think left of this mountain is probably where it is. But anyways, okay, so we'll just do that and then finish it off. Okay, and then yeah, so all the chat messages except for the spec ones, I guess, should be in the replay. Okay, yes, it was one of those. So the spec one was like after the game. So if I say like good game, it's not gonna appear in this replay, I think. Yeah, because I think it stops recording the chat after the game ends. Yeah, so it's only like the chats that were sent in game. But anyways, yeah, that's how it looks. I think that's about it. So yeah, just try out these modes, and what I have next is probably some strategy stuff, probably relating to FFA, because that's kind of what I know the most about, and there's like a lot of topics I could get into. But yeah, hope that was helpful. You know, if you're trying to pick up the game, or you know, if you're more experienced, I'll try to get into the more advanced topics soon enough. And yeah, just leave any feedback you have in the comments, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.